this is something that you're looking to get done, I would 1000% recommend it. But just make sure, research your doctor. Do not feel like, you want to save money on this because your image is more important, your health is more important. Make sure you find a good doctor, like a trustable doctor. Make sure you look at their previous pictures and just, be careful. Of course, find somebody you can trust, find somebody who's done this a million times before. Yeah, so it is worth it. Hello guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Amanda, and today, as you can see from the title of the video, I'm just gonna do kind of a run through of my experience getting otoplasty, which is otherwise known as just getting your ears pinned back. So just a little backstory. I was born with the ears that I had, and I don't know, of course, growing up, when you're small, or you just don't think about things like that. But as I was growing up and becoming a teenager and stuff like that, I noticed that it started to bother me more and more. It weren't as bad as some people's are. That's what I'm gonna say. I think I could have went through my whole life not having this procedure done and I would have been fine. It wasn't something that was just, I wasn't leaving the house for. But I noticed I couldn't do certain hairstyles. This kind of hairstyle I would never do. I would never have my hair down, fully down. You could see old pictures of me. I probably would have, but if I ever had my hair down, my ear would be sticking through. Or if I had my hair up, they were just sticking out. But as it's ears, your hair is around it. Sometimes I just, I just had to deal with it. So I didn't pay much attention to it. I decided to go ahead with my surgery in Lithuania. There were a couple of factors why I did that. First of all, I am Lithuanian and I was gonna go back to Lithuania anyway. So second of all, I do not know any doctors in Ireland, nor do I trust doctors in Ireland. No offense, I just don't. And third of all, the price. I'm not somebody, I don't condone, going to a completely different country that you don't know and getting a surgery just because it's cheap. I do not agree with that. You shouldn't. You should trust the doctor you're with, and you might as well pay more, but that you're in good hands. But for me, I am Lithuanian, so for me, it's not that I was going to a completely different country. In Lithuania, people earn less, so everything is cheaper. I'm not gonna say everything, but most of the things are cheaper. Doctors are cheaper, and dentists, and they're just better. Since I'm Lithuanian, I'm just used to Lithuanian doctors and everything, so I decided to go ahead with Lithuania. For me, as I mentioned, pricing in Ireland, when I researched it to get it done here, I was told by a couple companies, and then I was looking up some today as well just to check pricing. It's about between 5,000 to 6,000 euro to get this procedure done here in Ireland. I think for both ears. I'm not sure each. But yeah, so even the one I was looking up today was 5.5 grand for the procedure. So for me in Lithuania, it was 700 euro. I think I booked it in around March of 2019 and my surgery was in September. We had quite a few problems, but of course none of you are gonna go to the surgery that I was at, so there was no point of saying what happened. It was just they moved I don't even know how to explain it. They moved their offices and they changed their name at the same time, so it was quite a mix-up when I went there because I wasn't notified. But that doesn't affect anyone because that was just that specific surgery that I was with. But I had no problems doing my surgery or anything. So day one, you go in for your consultation. So my consultation was on the 4th. Yeah, so my consultation was on the 4th of September. Yeah, so we went in and the doctor just talked to me and asked what I like. He measured how far out my ear is. like both of them, and he was asking if I want to get them both done because, as you'll see in the pictures, the one of the ears, I think it was this one, it was sticking out more than the other one, so they weren't equally as, you know, bad. I could have gone away with not doing one of them, but the doctor said as well, it's kind of easier to get them to match up when you're doing them both rather than trying to match one to the other. So I said, you know what, sure, if we're gonna do one, do the other as well. I didn't mind, you know, it wasn't so, excuse the cat. So yeah, so first day, went in for the consultation, we talked about it, he asked what I want, what I'm looking for, and you know, he was really good doctor. He listened, and you know, he was asking a lot of questions. I was asking a lot of questions of what I can expect and stuff like that. So all I can say is research your doctor, research the place you're going to, and ask a lot of questions. So I was really happy with him. He seemed to be, you know, good, and I've seen his previous pictures and they look really good. So I decided just to go ahead. And so I said that day when I said I will go ahead with the surgery, that's when they took my bloods, and you know, so surgery was the following day, because I was only in Lithuania for a week or so, we had to do everything really quickly. So on day 2, I went in for surgery. We went in, you got me to change fully, take everything off what I had, put on the coat, like the surgical coat thing, and I went into a different room where the girl, she plaited my hair so it'd be out of the way, and I was terrified. I was shaking and I was crying. I was so close just to saying I don't want to do it, you know, especially after I found out, well, of course I found out before, way before surgery, but I was terrified because you do not go under anesthesia. I don't know what anesthesia means. They numb you, obviously, but you're awake. And we went upstairs for the surgery. I was shaking. So they laid me down at the table and they put a blanket over me, and they told me, you know, anytime you feel cold or too hot, or just tell us, you know, we'll move the, you know, the covers, or we'll put more on. So I just laid there and they started disinfecting. So they put this disinfectant like all over my face, my neck, everything was wet. And from that point onwards, I was not allowed to touch my face or anything. That was it, you know. So they disinfected it, and I just started bawling my eyes out. I was like, what am I doing with my with myself? You know, I was just so scared. And the guys were saying, oh, do you need a minute? And I was just like, yes, please. So I was just sitting there. One of the nurses was holding my hand, and I was like, oh my God, I don't know if I want to do this. And she's like, oh, you know, you've gotten this far, but of course, if you want to stop, like, you know, we're not going to force you. But she was like, you'll be okay. It just feels scary. You know, she was lovely. So, yeah, she talked me, she calmed me down. So, you know, of course, I went ahead with it, but I was really scared. And then came the numbing. The doctor said, the surgeon said, you know, oh, this is gonna hurt. Do you want to hold a hand? And the nurse was giving me her hand, and I was like, no, sure, I'll be okay. You know, it's just a needle. The pain, like, putting it here and here was okay, but when I started putting it into the ear, man, it's just literally very skinny, like thin skin and then cartilage. It hurt like hell. I was squeezing the nurse's hand for my dear life. Yeah, so after they put in the numbing stuff, I don't know what it's called, into my ears, I could just feel them kind of go numb. It's like I can feel them, but it kind of feels like they're not there. It's really weird. It's like getting the thing in your teeth, you know, like when your lip goes numb, is that kind of feeling. It's just, I think it's like the same stuff. But they start, you know, he kind of started pinching them, and he asked, you know, can you feel that? Can you feel that? And I was like, no. So he said, oh, we're gonna, you know, we're ready then for the surgery. Oh, before that, sorry, I forgot to mention, No, or was it after? I don't remember. It was a very traumatic time. But they had me, I think it was after the numbing stuff, but they had me kind of lay on one side. And that's when they put this kind of sheet, you know, the way when they do surgery, some sort, like they have these sheets like to stop blood or something. I don't know. But they had the sheet on my face, so I couldn't see anything, you know, it was like literally covering most of my face. And it just had my ear out. And that's when they started working on it. Just thinking about it, like, it's not as bad. You obviously don't feel anything, and it's not painful while they're doing it. It's just, it's uncomfortable. I don't want to scare anyone away. I just want to be honest, you know, I didn't know what to expect. And it was kind of nice to know. Like, my boyfriend's brother told me, you know, kind of what to expect. He said you can hear them cutting your cartilage and everything. I kind of expected it, but I don't know. I don't, like, when you just go into it, you know, you don't know what to expect. So, and guess what? To do the surgery, they fold your freaking ear over and hold it the whole time. It was terrifying. I think it took about half an hour for them to do one ear. Like, you know, I think I was on the table for just a bit over an hour from what I can remember. So all I know is they fold my ear over and I'm just sitting there crunching my life out. And they cut, I can hear them cutting the skin and then sawing at the fucking cartilage. So they did the one ear and then they sew you up. Oh my god, what I just remembered. When they were sewing my ear. Of course they have to, because they cut out a piece of your cartilage, so they have to close that gap. So they put on the stitches and they pull. And they pull so hard that I could, like, this part of here, like, it was pulling. And I kind of felt like a pop. And I was like, what is going on? I was terrified. It didn't hurt. It hurt the next day and a couple days after, like this part here. They must have just pulled something. Of course, they're pulling the cartilage shut, like, you know. So, but it was absolutely terrifying. But it didn't hurt. I don't know how many times I have to say it doesn't hurt because you're under medication. But, yeah, so they did the one, they did the other. Oh, and I forgot to mention, this ear, I had 2 incisions. So there was one in here. You can't really see the incisions anymore. Even after surgery, they were like barely noticeable. I will try to get a more closer look. So, yeah, I don't know if you can see that, but there's like a line in there. That's where the cut was. So anyway, so I had 2 cuts here. So there was one right here, which is the main one. And there's one up here, because this one kind of brings the ear back, but this incision was what brought the ear inwards, kind of this way, because without it, the ear went back, but this part was kind of sticking out. But as I said, this ear right here, it was fine, you know, so I didn't need as much work on it. So this one had 2 incisions, this one just had the one main one. And I will show you what they look like before and after and everything. After they cut and they sewn everything back together, they sat me up and he gave me a mirror and he said, have a look and see if this is what you like. You know, is this what you're looking for? Just before, you know, we fully finish you off, before you can go, you know, we don't want you to go without looking at them. So I looked, this one was perfect. This part was sticking about a bit too much, like it's sticking more than I wanted, so I kind of mentioned it to him, and then he was like, okay, we'll fix that. A mistake, well, not really, I got the ears that I wanted, but at the same time I had to go back under the knife. But yeah, I sat back, like I laid back down and he kind of did more stuff. As I said, I can't see anything, there's like a sheet over my face. So yeah, so he did that up, and then afterwards he showed me again and I said, yeah, that's perfect. So they bandaged me up and they let me just sit up and, like, you know, for a while, so I don't like stand up straight away. So I was sitting there for a while and, you know, they were asking me if I was okay and everything. yeah, and as I mentioned, the nurses were lovely and the doctor was lovely. They were asking me questions throughout. The doctor and I went downstairs and got dressed and we left. We might have done something else. I don't remember anything after the honestly, I don't remember anything after that. We went home and I remember we got kebabs and I was just feeling, wasn't myself, and I could feel the numbing things kind of wearing off, and it started hurting, and my stomach was hurting because I hadn't eaten, like barely eaten the whole day, and I was miserable. I was like, I just want to go to sleep. Sleep is impossible if you are not a natural back sleeper. You will struggle like I did. Now, actually, after this, because of this surgery, I'm a back sleeper now. But before, I would never sleep on my back. It was always like stomach or side. So after, you can't sleep any other way. After the post-op they called me back in and they asked me to bring someone with me who will be changing my bandages because I can't see the back of my ears. I can't see the back of my head. So I brought Mantis, my boyfriend, with me. So they showed him and I kind of explained to me as well how to change the bandage and how to clean and everything. And so they showed me, so that day we didn't have to do it. And that same day when they showed me how to change the bandages, we went quite far from where I had my surgery. We went to my hometown in Lithuania because it was the first time my boyfriend seeing it, so we just went down there. The next day, when my boyfriend had to change my bandages, oh my God, I never realized that I'm someone who, like, I feel weak to the thought of someone or even myself touching the wound. I felt so bad. I said, oh, let's go into the bathroom because the lighting was better. It was the next morning, so we went into the bathroom, the lighting was better, it was cleaner, we could wipe everything easier, and I didn't want, I was afraid the blood was gonna come out for some reason. I didn't want to, dirty the rented room that we were in, so I said, let's go to the bathroom. So I sat on the toilet, with the closed lid, of course, and he took off the wrap of my head, around my head, and there was kind of gauze pads in behind my ear, to absorb any moisture and blood if it's leaking or something like that. So as soon as he took off the bandage around my head, I felt so weak. I struggle with nausea for years now. So for me, nauseousness doesn't really bother me, but I got so weak. I got hot flush all through my body. I started sweating. Literally my hands were shaking. Yeah, I can't fake it now, but my hands were shaking. I was sweating buckets and I got so weak. I started feeling really nauseous. So I said, no, stop. I know it's gross and it's probably not very sanitary, but at that point I didn't care. I said, I'm gonna sit on the floor, on the cold floor, to cool me down. And I literally sat there hugging the toilet because I thought I was gonna barf. TMI, but I thought I was gonna vomit at any given time. Literally, I felt that sick in maybe 5 seconds after he took off the bandage. Everything just came like a ton of bricks. So I just sat on the bathroom floor and I said, don't do any sudden movements, don't hit it, don't touch it, I am gonna vomit. So, but it wasn't, it was bad. Okay, I was just gonna say it wasn't too bad, it was very bad. But he was lovely, he was nice and gentle, and he took his time, he didn't hurry. So we finally got that done and he wrapped it back up and I just didn't want to even think about it. So the bandages, so as I mentioned, they put one on you, I will insert pictures, but there's one right around your head. They mentioned, the doctor told me that I could put on, you can change it. It was I don't know what you call that white thing. It was just wrapped around my head. You will see in the pictures, I just kept that one. But he said that you can buy one, say those sports, kind of headbands and just for to hold your ears back. And so I just kept the one that they put on me. You know, I just would wash it, or, you know, I would buy the new white thing and just wrap around, because I found it wrapping easier than like kind of putting on. And I was afraid because of when you're wrapping, you can do as tight or as loose as you want. But when you put on the headband, I was afraid it would be too tight and it would hurt. So I just decided to keep what they gave, do the same thing as they did. So the bandages for the surgery where I was at, I know some other places like they give different timelines, but what I had to do personally with my surgery, and my surgeon, that's what my surgeon told me, is I had to wear the bandage on my ears 24/7 for 2 weeks. So you have to take off and clean the back of your ears and disinfect every day, but you have to keep the bandages on for 2 weeks straight. Every day, like all day, all night. After the 2 weeks, then you, of course, you still have to clean your wounds and everything every day. But after 2 weeks, you only wear the bandage at night for 2 more weeks. I think I did it for 3. But yeah, so when you're sleeping, you put on the bandage, but you can have it off all day. My surgeon said that apparently you can only fly 4 days, 4 or more days after your surgery. And I don't know why. If somebody knows it's something to do with the pressure, I don't know. But I was told, maybe it's like blood clots or something, I don't know. But I was told, do not fly 4 days after surgery. Like, you know, you have to wait 4 or more days. But I flew. My flight was on the 4th day after surgery to come back to Ireland. And I was so scared. I had a fucking white wrap around my head. I looked like I haven't slept in like a week. And going into the airport, people were giving me all kind of looks. They're like, what is this woman doing with a head around, like with a wrap around her head? But had to be done. But I was actually very scared to fly. I don't know why. I got it into my head. Like, I'm not somebody who just like makes up things and starts thinking and being scared. But honestly, when he said that I couldn't fly, I thought my ears were gonna explode or something. I literally thought that the incisions were just gonna literally burst open. I was terrified, literally the whole flight, even because of course, like after surgery, you know, once in a while, like you can kind of feel the incisions healing, so they would kind of, you know, be sore here and then like ticklish here, you know, so they did that for a couple of weeks. But when I was on the flight, when I would feel a little bit of pain, I was like, that's it, it's gonna explode. Oh, I forgot to mention, they gave me very strong painkillers. I don't remember the name of it, and it was like a Lithuanian name on it, so, but they gave me these painkillers. And the first day, when I said afterwards, when we went to trying to eat kebabs, as soon as I felt the numbness coming off and just a little bit of pain, I just took 2 of the tablets. That's what he said to take, and I just went straight to bed. So just before the flight, I was like, if these incisions are gonna burst open, as I made up in my head, or my ears are gonna explode, you know, as it happens, I took, I think, 2 tablets just before my flight because I was terrified. I'm not somebody who takes medication usually for anything else, but for this, I was like, I don't want to be in pain, in any kind of pain. I just don't want to feel anything. But I only took it for, I think, for that first day of surgery, and that day when I had my flight, that was the only time I took the medication. I didn't take it any time after that. So sleeping, as I mentioned, was quite hard. I'm not a back sleeper. It wasn't a back sleeper, as I mentioned. It was quite hard, you know, trying to fall asleep, and you're not allowed to move because the bandage is all around your head. So if you even tilt your head a little bit, it pulls on the ears and it just hurts, and everything hurt, and it was painful. And if my boyfriend moved on the other side of the bed, it would hurt. But anyway, no, all I gotta say, it's worth it. Yeah, so this is what this ear looks like now. This is the one that had the 2 incisions. One thing that I emailed my surgeons like a month in, or maybe even 2 weeks after, as soon as I took off the bandages, because I hadn't even seen my ears for 2 weeks. I was so afraid to look at them. But 2 or 3 weeks after surgery, I had a good look at it, and I noticed this indent right here. It's quite deep, and I don't know, like now it doesn't bother me, I don't even see it anymore, but after surgery I was like, I just paid all this money, 700 euros, not that much, but I was like, I just paid all this money, I went through all of this, I don't want to go through it again, and I was like, what is this? But they must have pulled something more than they should have, I don't know. But there's just this weird indent in this ear, and there's, you know, this one looks perfect. Like when I look straight forward, this one like just goes round, where this one right here has like a indent in it. I honestly, as I said, I don't see it anymore, you know, it just doesn't bother me anymore. Actually now, so at the moment I am about, yeah, I'm over a year out from the surgery. So I did my surgery on the 5th of September 2019, and today is the 19th of September 2020. Horrible year, I know, but so I'm a year out. My ears still hurt. I can't lean, like, you know, like now I can finally feel them. For about a year, I only got the feeling back recently, but before, when I would touch my ear, it would kind of feel numb, you know, because all the capillaries, everything was still reconnecting. Like my ears felt numb, and now I can feel it. Like I can feel running my nail on it, but before, as I said, it would just kind of feel like there's something there, but you can't feel what it is. But yeah, it hurts if I lean on something really hard. Wearing face masks is a nightmare. As I am a glasses wearer, I don't like contacts, they freak me out, so I have to wear my glasses. And then when I have to wear my mask, because I'm back in college right now, and you know, you have to wear a mask in class, like say if I'm going to a shop and wear it for 10 minutes, it's fine, but when I have to sit in class from 9 to 4 with the mask on, it hurts like a motherfucker. Like the back of my ears literally feels like there's somebody cutting them with a knife. But I was told that fully to heal, get all the feeling back, it doesn't hurt when you lean on it. It takes about 2 years or so, you know. I'm a year out and most of it is healed, it's fine, but it still hurts, you know. Like I can't lie on my boyfriend's shoulder or anything because it's just too hard. You know, I have to lie on a pillow or something, you know, or just try and avoid my ear area. I do not regret it. Even though with this weird divot in my ear, I am much happier. I can wear my hair down, I can wear my hair up, I can do what I want with my hair and not feel conscious about it, you know. Even though probably no one ever noticed it before. But for me, I just feel happier. I feel better with the way it looks. I think it looks better. And I am happy. I'm actually very happy. I'm happy I got it done. I am not thinking. It's quite obvious. I'm gonna have to get laser eye surgery. Maybe next year I'll be going back to Lithuania in the summer to get the eye test done, because you have to go and get your eyes tested to see if you're eligible and for which surgery. There's a couple different types. So I don't know, I might have to go back, and I am scared because I've seen my boyfriend go through it. And as I said, if you want to see a video about that, I can, like, I know what he went through, you know, I was there. So if you want information on that, I can give some, like I can give you information on what it was like and everything.
And thanks for including me in your video. To respond to your questions, like I did not note, like a lot of people didn't even notice your insecurity about your ears. Like that was never a problem to anyone. Like you were very good at masking, I'll tell you that much. The first time I heard when you came to me and you said that you wanted to get this procedure done, I felt sad because, first of all, me being your number one friend, I did not notice your insecurity, which is sad in a way, but also, like, I hope that it would show you that no one sees that about you, you know, that you're not imperfect to us, you're literally perfect to us. And so my other thing was, like, I was scared, you know, for the procedure. Like, what if it goes wrong? What if you get an infection? Like, you know, just so many things that could possibly go wrong. Also, I didn't want you to do it in a back alley, like, you know, girl. But you did your homework, you did your research, and the first time that you came back from Lithuania, you visited me, I actually had completely forgotten that you had done the surgery, and I couldn't even see. Don't even want to know. Look at, you don't even want. Like, I didn't even notice the scars. I forgot about your surgery. Like, you looked as perfect as you did before surgery, just like, you know, so like there was absolutely no problem. So that's to answer your question. I hope you do the video real soon. Don't mind. Have a good evening. I love you. Take care. Bye.
So if you have any questions that I did not answer, if you want any other information, do not hesitate to contact me. You can DM me on Instagram. My handle is right here, and it will be linked in the description box. And also, you can shoot a comment down below. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!